the gold that, was found after World War II that they had somehow gotten from the Nazis that were taken from Jews. Isn't that what happened? Can you imagine what kind of side deals was the Vatican making when that whole thing is going down? Okay? And they're running this business. Now, who's kidding who? The Catholic Church is basically Netflix before Netflix. It's like Netflix with religion. They went global with that shit. And now they're sitting there, and all their customers are killing each other, right? And they're sitting in that sovereign state, Vatican City. Now, there's no fucking way they weren't talking to both sides, right? That had to have been happening. There was a lot of that from what I heard, even on the Allied side. I've heard talks about America doing it, fucking England doing it. There was a lot of chatter. There's a lot of chatter, people trying to position themselves. Let me see. Catholic Church position in World War II. All right. I wrote war, W-O-A-R. I don't know why I wrote that like bore. World War II. Here we go. What do we got here? All right. Vatican records. Why do they always keep records? I don't understand that. If you're doing fucked up shit, why do you write it down? Or why don't you just lie and say, we were on the Allied side. Pope Pius XII was silent during the Holocaust. Yeah, I mean, that would be like if one streamer, against another streaming company, if they find out that all the customers for their streaming company were getting fucking murdered, they would be like, hey, that's more fucking less competition. So many layers to this, especially if you're dumb like me and you just plug in your own theories without really reading about it. Now the Vatican records may reveal whether he collaborated with the Nazis. Well, I think the fact that he kept his fucking mouth shut, I think he was sitting there at the very least going like, all right, I don't know who's going to win, but I want to survive. And this little sweaty guy with this silly little mustache doesn't seem to be mad at us yet. So why start that? Okay? This guy obviously does not fear the afterlife considering what he's doing. So, and he has tanks with fucking Porsche engines in them. It was a Saturday. Shabbat. What does that mean? Shabbat ranks. In October 1943, the Nazis had been occupying Rome for a month, which is where the Vatican is for other morons out there like me. An hour before sunrise, they surrounded the Jewish ghetto and began La Razzia, the roundup. Evil bastards. Within a few hours, more than 1,000 Italian Jews, mostly women and children, heartless fucking bastard, had been herded together a few blocks from the walls of Vatican City. Why wouldn't they let them go into the walls? Why wouldn't they save them? Self-preservation. As one Nazi ambassador later put it, the Jews were loaded into trucks and taken away under the Pope's very windows. Whether the Pope witnessed the deportation or not, he said nothing. Only 16 of those Jews would survive. There you go. There you go. I looked up one thing, and I read it. I didn't even read the whole thing. And now I will tell that story until I eat too many trans fats and forget it. All right. So, yeah, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that. Or the other way to do it was you remain neutral. Like, I don't want to get involved in this. I don't want to get involved in this. Like Sweden. Don't want to get involved, okay? We're just consciously not even objectors. We're just sort of watching this, watching it unfold. Do you know, I've told this story before, that Sweden wasn't an economic power at that time before the war, but after the war, they became an economic power for the fact that they were still standing and their city was functioning because everything else had been fucking laid to waste. And one of the things that they did was they looked the other way when the Nazis came in to Sweden to go into Norway to take those guys over. And they looked the other way and let them use their own train system. And if I remember correctly, this is how the Swedes told me this, that Sweden used to own the lower third of their country. And Norway, through whatever negotiations or whatever, they'd finally gotten it back. And then World War II happened, and Sweden let the Nazis get on their trains and go into Norway and fucking, fuck shit up over there. and the war ends. Sweden's still standing, so they're a massive economic power just because their lights are still on. Norway is in disarray, and at one point they actually tried to sell what they got back to Sweden just to get the fucking economy going. And Sweden said no. Really cunty move, said no. But then the irony of all ironies is they discovered a bunch of oil. I don't know if it's in that part of the land. And now Norway has a ton of fucking money. And this Swedish guy said, yeah, now we go into Norway and we do the jobs that Norwegians don't want to do. How fucking funny is that? Look at Bill. Look at this, like becoming a little moron history for you here.